Perfect. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Copywriting Pro batch in which we open our doors for everyone to come in and take the overwhelming knowledge of brand communication from our guest mentor. So we have Shreya Shah, Mr. Shreya Shah with us. He has spent almost a decade now in the advertising and marketing industry as a communication artist first, communicating UI in through UI and UX, and then understanding the deeper concepts of it. He completed his studies from San Francisco, US, worked there, and then came back to India. Also worked with US companies while he was in India. Then from last 1 year, he has been successfully running his own marketing and advertising agency, which is Creative First Marketing Advertising Agency. So this guest lecture is related to an undivided part of writing content, that is communication through brand. And this communication through brand does not that exceeds beyond words, right? Because throughout the sessions we have been learning that these ads are so great. This is what implementation based idea is. That is what is something which comes with an insight. The blogs, the articles that we write, we see there is a visual communication to you as well. And to understand the visual communication behind your thought, behind the brief that you have got, or you are building your personal brand, we will get to know this today from Mr. Shreya Shah. And now I'll keep myself on mute. But if you're not having your food, if you're not driving a car, and if you're not in your bed, okay, if still you are, if you are in a bed, open up your cameras. It's important to be visible. So that it doesn't feel like, we have just gathered people here to make our guest lecture more, satisfied with the group. So Shreyas bhai, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ash, for the great intro. Hi, guys. I'll try to keep it as interactive as possible because one-sided lectures are usually boring for me, at least. I don't know about you guys. So I will share my screen. I've created a small presentation. Great. I hope everyone can see my screen. So um, I'm here. I'm a designer by blood, by choice, by everything. So I'm going to talk a bit about design. At the current moment, you might not understand why design in a copywriting class, but over the by the end of the course, I mean by the end of the hour, you'll probably understand that. So let's start. Brand communication, obviously that's the course. What is visual thinking? So let's start with why design and copywriters have to work together, or why it is important for each other. What is visual thinking? So if anyone has any answers, what is visual thinking to anyone?
Like imagery.
Great, that's a good idea. Good answer. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to look at different side because there's a secondary screen there. So that's where I'm looking at you guys versus the presentation. So please overlook that. All right, so what is visual thinking? Visual thinking is pretty much images we see. So it's divided into three sections or three parts, I'd say. One is images we see. So photos that we click, or things that we really see in real life. So that's one. Images we imagine. So some things that's not real, things that we imagine it to be, could be a dream, could be anything. So that's another part of visual thinking. and then images we draw. Uh, that is what, when you combine all together, creates visual thinking. Um, the sweet spot is obviously when let's take Harry Potter. It is a great story of visual thinking because it has elements of reality, of dreams, and drawings, obviously, because there are certain things that have been drawn there. So that's the sweet spot that people have hit. That is what is important for even ads. I mean, for any communication as a matter of fact. Let's understand a little better. Um, what is a font? Anybody?
So, like, you mean like the normal text font or something else?
What is a font? When someone says font, what do you think it is?
The text font, basically, like the
So a
A
font,
set of characters.
better. So yeah, a font is ideally a visual representation of what you're you know writing or what you want to write. So it is, yes, set of characters. It is what you write, what you type. Um, what does this make you feel? This logo on the left, what does this make you feel?
childish, vibey.
Perfect. So every font comes up with an emotion, a feeling, and that's where copywriters have to start thinking about how words play importance in visual communication as well, because the words that you use, or the type that you use, that all will play in the emotions. Fun and playful, perfect. What about this?
Focused.
Serious, impactful, right? So each font, Harsh, what did you say? I didn't get you.
I said focused, like the camera
Fair.
pixels focusing.
True. So the font here definitely plays, you cannot use this font for the bank. Every font has its own character element, which plays a major role in, design. Why does one evoke different emotion than the other? As I said, it is just the way your mind or your psychology, like your brain works. Certain fonts evoke playfulness, creativity, childishness, and certain fonts definitely evoke, seriousness. What is color?
Different
I mean,
hues and shades.
great. I mean, I wasn't looking for a scientific answer that what reflects on from the sun is color. Fair. So, what does this make you feel?
Calm.
Perfect. So, each color by itself also evokes an emotion. So, that's another point to think about when you're, doing design. What does this make you feel?
Warm.
Anger, warmth, alert,
Importance.
importance. Great. Amazing. So that's another way of evoking emotions. One is through using a nice font or using a specific font, and the other is through color. This is just absolute basics of design. Why does this not work?
Because of the vibrant colors used.
Exactly. So when someone thinks of bank, finance, right, they start thinking serious. Where you have too much color, too much playfulness, you lose the trust, or you lose the portrayal of trust in the end person. I mean, the end user starts thinking they're not serious. They're not, probably doing right things right. it feels like a child's bank versus an adult or someone who can take finance seriously. Why does this work?
Builds
Because this is
reliance.
sorry.
Builds reliance, trust. It's not very poppy.
Exactly. So serious tone, to the point, no nonsense, very shows what they want to do. That's why it makes it work. Each color evokes an emotion. One has to understand what brand or what you want to communicate. Based on that, you can start thinking about design, how you want to put messages across, things like that. Any questions till now? I mean,
Yeah, come on, guys. Don't think your question might be silly. Silly questions leads to great ideas.
no. Cool.
I want to ask one question. Can I?
Yes, please.
When the red color evokes aggression, danger, and all, why do companies tend to take red colors more? Like Nintendo, Kellogg's is a very friendly brand, but and Coca-Cola.
So, great question. The Coca-Cola again, it is, it talks about happiness. Like their whole advertising campaign strategy is all about happiness, open happiness, drinks, all that. Why do they use it, right? But you're looking at it from the negative perspective, which is the action danger part. But what about excitement? So red stands out. The way they've used it makes it stand out from the X n number of things that are present on the planet. So they definitely show power, passion, excitement, and that's pretty much what they want to portray. Now with Kellogg's, again, friendly brand. Why use red? It's a very interesting question, and I really don't have an answer because every question has its own subjective answer. But I believe Kellogg's again stand out in their packaging, or if you look at their brand, the way they've used it, red probably just stands out from a lot of other colors. That helps it, keep away from probably the 100 other cereal brands on this planet.
Mm, I
Cool.
think, yeah.
Anything else? Any other question?
I was
Till
just
now.
saying, Tejal opened her mic for a brief minute, and then I don't know why she backed out. But yeah,
So I was just wondering what the color white symbolizes.
White.
It's,
So why don't you tell me what does white symbolize? I mean, should be very well evident.
why?
many companies use the color white along with different colors, but like it doesn't have a specific symbolic value.
I mean, on symbolic front, white definitely denotes purity. No, at the basic minimum, it will be purity. The reason
Hmm.
people don't, I'll be very frank, people don't use white in their logo, like as a hero color, probably, is brand usage. Once you have a white logo, you cannot use it in certain things. Then you have to have a supporting color to make it stand out.
Hmm.
So that's one major reason people probably don't use white, because you will have to have a supporting color. Otherwise, white logos will be lost. That's how world is. But yeah, white denotes purity. Is one of the 100 other things that it might denote.
Okay.
Cool. Moving on. How to think visually. So something that we usually do is, when a brief comes to us, um, a writer and an art director or a designer always work hand in hand. It is practically impossible for one to work without the other, because you can write beautiful copy, but if that copy is not visualized in the right way, it will just be a stupid ad, and vice versa. It can be a brilliant design, but if the copy doesn't make sense to it, it leads to nowhere. So at the basic, what we do is we start brainstorm. When I say brainstorming is dig in, research, understand the brief, understand the client, what they've done in the past, what they represent, what they want to show, I mean, come across. What is the end goal of this? Once you come to that, then you start picking out interesting points. I'd always start with a blank wall. So we use a wall here and we just start writing things down. 1 word, 2 words, 300 words, whatever you want, whatever comes to your head. People use sticky notes as well. Just stick it. There's always a hidden idea there, but you will never reach there unless you don't brainstorm. It is not always in one person's head. Not one, it can't be a one person idea or a one person campaign. It has to be multiple heads in one. Interactive thought and exercises is another way to think visually. When I say interactive thoughts is, you know, think beyond what the brief is and play games. So we have, word, what do you call it? Word trees. From one word leads to another word leads to another. So as an example, brown. We start with something as simple as brown. What do you think of brown? Tree. What from the tree? Leaf, green, air, oxygen. It can just go on and on and on and on and on. But once you start doing that, that is where you'll find your hidden, elements that, oh, you never thought about this. And that is where you'll start thinking about different ideas or, solutions to how to think visually. Roadmaps. Similar to what I said last time, you have to have an end goal and then work, I'd say pretty much reverse. I want this brand to get 100 sales by the end of the month. To get that, how do I work? So I have to reverse engineer. I cannot just start and assume that you'll get 100 sales by my great ads. It has to start with the end goal and then how to achieve that. There's no concrete answer, but that's how it works. I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a small documentary called Art and Copy. I'd suggest you guys to definitely check it out. It's on YouTube. Harsh can share it with you guys later. It's a brilliant documentary about how advertisers have worked in the past, how art and copy go very much hand in hand. One is weak or one is useless without the other.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
This art and copies by this snow one, no snowdrop solution.
One sec.
You can share the link in the chat. It will be better. Yeah,
Yeah.
snowdrop solution.
Yeah.
That's the same. Okay, I'm sharing guys the link in the chat box. You can copy it and keep it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So some famous ads that are heavy on copy, but you have to understand that as great as the copy is, without the visual, it holds no value. And you can look at each. The first one is by Ogilvy. At 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in the new Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. Such a brilliant ad, not talking about speed, comfort, nothing. It is just that the Rolls Royce is smooth, silent, obviously, if you can afford it. Uh, Another one is by DDV, Think Small. Legit just made this car super small in the ad, unlike most clients I've worked with who would want, अरे जगह है बड़ा कर दो, make it bigger. But yeah, so this was a quite a breakthrough ad. All these are like 1960s, 70s ads, but great ads. Avis is only number 2 in the rent cars, so why you go with us? The number 2 is always working harder than the number 1 because he wants to reach number 1. That's pretty much why this ad works a lot better. Again, not showing the product sometimes, stop dreaming, start working. Absolutely simple, beautiful copy, beautiful ad. There's no show my shoes, show my athletic athletic wears. In certain places, yes, show the wear, show, you have to understand the balance there. This is an example of great ads without copy. I mean, one has one without copy. Sometimes you just need a brilliant idea, and then the rest you don't need copy to force it or use my floss and remove extra dirt and all that. It's just as simple as that. Lastly, what we all do, dreaming of a holiday. So, you know, when you're there but not there, you probably will be scribbling on your books. Simple, minimal, very to the point. You don't need anything too much to express. So this is some interesting things that I assume is great advertising and great art and copy working hand in hand. So yeah, that's a bit of this. Something that I've go ahead. Someone saying something? Okay. So something that we've done in the past is I don't know if you're aware of 6 word stories. As it's a psychological fact that a human's attention lasts for 6 to 7 words. So if you capture them for the first 6 to 7 words, you have them for a lot longer. But that is all the time span a human spends in reading generally. So there is this very famous 6 word stories that a lot of copywriters do. It is expressing a whole story in just 6 words. It is an amazing challenge that I would suggest or request all of you to do. I'll give you some examples. Simple, and my story goes on without you. The most famous one is for sale. Like the real 6 word stories started was for sale baby shoes not worn. Stories like this, are open to interpretation the way you want. If you just Google famous 6 word stories, for sale baby shoes never worn. This is such a brilliant story that you can interpret it the way you want. Someone's bought baby shoes, it's not worn, so probably the baby died. That's why they want to put it up for sale again. That's an interpretation that I have. Could be anything else. It never fit the baby also, probably. So this is an exercise I'd really recommend all writers to go through is spend time in creating some good 6 word stories. This will bound your creativity and really restrict you to come up with tighter copies because that is all the attention span that anyone has. Last, I have an exercise for all of you. If you have time, when you have time, what I recommend is create a movie poster. And when I say movie poster is um, your movie poster should represent the whole story of the movie. As an example, it cannot just be showing the actor and actress. It has to explain the whole story. That should be your, minimal, superb, classy movie posters. That way you can challenge yourself in, thinking visually. How can I represent certain elements of a movie into one poster? This challenge will be really interesting for you guys to, really spend time on. That's any questions?
So the I don't know if anybody has any question, but what my experience is, they are great absorbers. They are great learners.
Hmm.
They don't have questions. They'll give you posters now to uh, give them a review of.
Great. I can't wait for that. Um, Hold on. So let me show you one very interesting movie poster that I've seen in the past. This is what I'm talking about.
Nice.
S- Simple, minimal, very to the point. It pretty much explains the whole movie in one poster. This will challenge you, to start thinking what is the core of the message of the movie, what really it means. I mean, showing Amir Khan and the actors is obviously overdone. Everyone's done it, but it doesn't represent the story. This pretty much represents the whole story. That's what I want you guys to start thinking. Think, push yourself to start thinking, how can I represent everything in the story, or the importance of the story into one poster? That'll be an amazing challenge.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll just say a few parting words. So
Sure.
whoever has joined today, either from content writing batch or copywriting batch,
Mhm.
remember one thing: we've been talking about ideas, we've been talking about insights, we have been talking about different elements of content writing. What essentially becomes a hindrance when you give this copy, the blog, the article to the team is your visualization. You have so vague visualization around how your idea is to be represented that you end up communicating something which you maybe which is over of your thoughts, like you over share your visuals, which then makes very unclear for the designer or for the team to understand, or you undershare your visualization, which again leaves them with a hook of whether this is something they are looking at or not. And then they tend to use their own imagination as well with your brief, which gives out a different result. But I asked Shreyas Bhai specially to come tonight to help us understand this communication, because these two things are inseparable. They go hand in hand. Every ad video that we have seen, every poster that we have seen, every outdoor advertisement that we have seen, designed, written, created, is a collaboration between a writer and a designer. So this aspect of the fonts, the colors, the representation of the whole idea that you've got today, put that to work. You have a lot of things to do. We know you have a few assignments or few tasks from me, but this task will help you connect your ideas, whichever we have been writing, the insights we have been hunting, to give out as a poster, as a real life example for the person to build further on, to refine it on. And where like from behalf of all of us, Shreyas bhai, thank you so much for helping us understand this idea of brand communication. It took me personally, when I started on in this field, to understand how to communicate, because resources as well sometimes differ with designers and art directors. So how to find the idea is one thing, and then how to push it and just give that idea into a small box which is implementable is a great thing. And thank you for joining us tonight, Shreyas bhai.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. If you have
Anybody
any
else ask
questions,
anything? This is your time. That's why we have live. बहुत बढ़िया सब खाना खा रहे हैं.
great. If you have any questions, yes, please feel free to ask. I mean, Harsha will pass it on to me. I'll be happy to answer. And yeah, thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye, Shreyas bhai. Bye everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, sir.